Yes, good people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Morning show, specifically another match predictions show. And today we're going to be looking into predicting what we think will be at the outcome or what we think will happen, the lineup and everything. Manchester City versus Chelsea Football Club at the Etihad Stadium. We have nothing to lose. We're staying up no matter the outcome of the game. In Man City, they've already won the league, given that Arsenal lost against Nottingham Forest yesterday. But we're hoping, lots of us hope that Frank Lampard will start the youth, but I doubt that will happen because his priority will be to fix his coaching resume. If I'm allowed to put it that way. So sit back and relax, and let's get into this edition of the Blue Morning Show. Thank you all for finding the time to join. Yes, good people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all eating blue, sleeping blue, waking up blue, and overall living the blue life. London will always be blue. And you can say overall, for some of us, it's now a good season as long as Arsenal didn't get to win the Premier League. Unfortunately, that's how football is. If this were, you know, if we're speaking about our fellow individuals, we could say, yeah, it wouldn't be nice to wish them bad luck, but yeah, we wanted them not to win the league because they are one of our biggest London rivals. But I'm gonna get what we have in the chat already to see how everyone is doing. I have my bro Briani Rahayu, aka 343 Dylema, aka Vivel FC, aka Contender FC. I hope you're doing well, bro. Big up yourself. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. Justice Aqua, big up to you too, bro. I hope you're doing well. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. If you're just joining, the likes do go along with. Coach is still having a breakfast. No coffee. It's not breakfast yet for me. It's still 3:15 a.m. for me here. Yeah. Chesky, always nice to see you, brother. And the Constantine Dante, big up, bro. Holla everyone, holla everyone, holla chitto. I like it. I like it. I like how you say my name there. But big up to you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Francis Winters, it's been a minute. I haven't seen you in a while. Please do let me know. I hope you're doing well. But more importantly, thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. Here's where we're going to roll today. We have a few news items to talk about. First, I want to talk about the reports because there's nowhere to tell that Raheem Sterling is in very much in Pochettino's plans. I'm not shocked. I think selling. We've had that conversation and we've come to the realization that selling Raheem Sterling isn't going to be easy. He's on a very high wage, which means and usually when players move, they take a pay cut, and he's still quite at least let's say 3 years left on his contract or so, or even more. I'm not sure. But the fact is this: selling him won't be easy because the buying club it had to find a club that's going to look at him and say, okay, we can afford his salary and he's in brilliant form. He isn't really. But hopefully he stays. Hopefully he shows better form in the coming. Again, since he's going to stay, because I'm not hoping he stays. He's one player I've always wanted to leave Chelsea because it hasn't really worked out. But hopefully he shows better form in the coming season because selling him, it's practically impossible, if that makes sense. Yeah, people keep dropping the likes on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes to go along with. Thank you so much to all of you for finding the time to join in the show. And my bro Constantine Dunn, he says, I like the way you say my name as well, coach. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Much love. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. We are just on 11 likes. The likes do go along with. Please keep dropping the likes. We have to end this one as soon as possible because we have a pregame show to do so that everybody takes a break before the pregame show. We don't have to dwell too much on this particular show. It's just we're going to try to predict the lineup, and if we have to get into it as soon as possible because if we waste the time on it at the point the lineups will start leaking and it will practically useless going through the exercise. Yeah, thank you, but I appreciate you, bro. Much love and respect from me here. And Kishan, the New York guy, says we might see Alvarez today instead of Haaland. I think if Pep prefers to play, if he prefers, that's if he sees maybe if he sees Haaland as the player he wants to play in the final and not Alvarez, then yeah, Haaland will get a rest. I think he will rest players and he'll still be confident he's going to beat us. But had Arsenal won that game, Pep would have just he would throw everything they have, their best players on us. But yeah, and to us, I still don't think Frank will give too many of the young players opportunities because his priority right now will be to polish his resume because it isn't looking good for him. So yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way, and I want to take this opportunity to also appeal to those of you who are watching at home, and for one reason or the other, not able to participate in the chat. We appreciate you. I just wanted to let you know that you watching alone does provide a great value to the community. But we want to ask one more favor, if you can, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream. The likes do help us. It triggers the YouTube algorithm, which causes it to push the stream to more people who would be interested in the topic that we're discussing right now. So thank you so much, sincerely. I do appreciate that. Arsenal bottled the league. I've always known that was going to be the case, but I knew they will remain in top four. But I was clear that I don't see them winning the league. They have the spirit; they're going to fight. But yeah, I think they will be better next season actually because they're going to learn. But let's see what happens. Congratulations to Man City, by the way. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of changes. Yep, from Pep. Yep, he will. There's no need to risk in it. If we're being honest, it wouldn't make any sort of sense to risk it since they've won the league already. The bigger game is the Champions League now. So they have to rest players because you can see most of them looked tired against that Real Madrid game, but they pushed. It was a spirited performance from them. Even when they got tired, they were still pushing. At one point, Kevin De Bruyne looked like he'd been tired a month ago, not just that very day. So let's get into the news items that we have lined up before we move on. But before that, let me get one more contribution in the chat from Constantine Dante. We will do a God of honor. Yeah, it's a long-standing culture. No matter who you are, you have to do that. Yes or no, should do a poll. No, you have to do it. I think the poll doesn't matter really. They've won the league, and we'll know they've won the league. So it's a tradition we have to do. I know nobody will force us to do it, but it wouldn't make any sort of sense if we refuse to do it. What if we're let's say put ourselves in their shoes and they refuse to do a God of honor for us? Then winning the league will lose its value, if that makes sense. I think it's not an option. It's something we have to do. Giovanni Jafta says the City cannot underestimate Chelsea today. You don't have to remind Pep that. I think he will have the top guns on the bench, and if things aren't going the way he wants, he will bring them in. Because chances are, if he makes more than 5 changes, we'll see something similar to that cup game where we outplayed them. We're just wearing clinical in front, or we're just wearing clinical on the day. So they ended up once they brought in their top guns. Yeah, that's the end. Chelsea is still a dangerous team, even though we struggled this season. Haaland will start for them. And here's the thing: I agree with you. We're still a dangerous team, and the fact is, Man City they're not going to sit deep. So I expect us to actually play well against Manchester City. They're not. We only struggle too much when teams defend deep, if that makes sense. But let's see what happens today. Hopefully, if we get a chance, let's put it away. Big up Coachella, panel and chat. Santiago Muno, it has been a minute, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. I want to know. Please do let me know how you're doing. Is everything all right with you? But always nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join us today. Lampard said maybe we will, when asked not yes or no. here's the thing. I don't think he should be saying that. Lots of clubs have done that for Chelsea. We're one of the clubs that have won the Premier League the most, and we know it's a long-standing culture. I don't see it ending now. Yeah, I don't see it ending now. I don't think it should be optional. It just doesn't make sense. It's that's not the reason why we're struggling. So it just doesn't make any sort of sense for us to say, okay, you know what, we're not going to do that because we're bitter. We're not happy that they wanted us. So I don't think we should actually move on from that topic. It's not even enough. We shouldn't even be discussing that. Yes, it's shameful. It's painful because we're not well. We're on in 11 positions in the table. We're not even like second or third that you can say you do that knowing you fought tooth and nail. We tooth and nail that we tried our best to win, but we couldn't. So let's give them respect for getting the best out of us or something like that. Getting the better of us. This is one of the news items we have lined up today. Tudor Mendel Ido is expected to leave Chelsea when his contract expires. He's a good player, an excellent player, actually, very, very good with his feet. I'm not sure why he's refused to put pen to paper for a new contract. Probably looking for path to the first team and looking at the club signing too many young players. And the young players, actually, some of them are not going to be part of the academy. Lots of them will actually go straight into the first team if they get work permit. Maybe they've been asking the question, what's going on here? So I'm not sure. We move on from that one. And the next item here we have. I want to breeze through the news items so we get to the predictions. We're going to start to the lineup predictions. We're going to start with the predicted lineup exercise. Chelsea are in for Dusan Vlahovic, and that's according to his quoting Lawrence Julian and the byline. I am told by someone Chelsea are in for Vlahovic. They've made an offer already for Vlahovic. Maybe the manager likes him, and if that's the case, I'm all for it. I'm not going to question that decision. I think we have better options that I believe would do well for Chelsea Football Club than Vlahovic. But if that's what the incoming manager wants, I'll take him. I trust Pochettino. Like I said, he actually overachieved at Tottenham. I know lots of people see it differently, but I have to move on from that. And this one here, Romeo Lavia is a player Chelsea loves. Chelsea have Joe Shields at the club, who is the director who signed Lavia for Man City Academy and then signed him at Southampton. He is the man who built the career of Lavia. So it's normal to have this kind of link. They are pursuing the player, but it's not the only option. And I can assure you that the player to me, that's in my opinion, he will not be so keen to come to Chelsea because, we don't have Champions League football. And Romeo Lavia, you can be rest assured there will not be shortage of clubs looking to get into put pen to paper and join them. I'm not shocked that we're linked with them. I knew that was going to start swearing, and that's what's happening. Big up to you, Declan. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. How are you doing, brother?
Good, coach. I thought I'll come in for a little bit. Probably have to leave a little later.
Yeah,
but I came in to say the Poch countdown.
Go ahead.
Where's the Poch countdown? The Pochettino announcement countdown. That's what I came to say.
I don't know what the hold up is. But it's looking more obvious that he's most likely going to be the one. I'm sure probably there's a chance he's already signed the contract. I don't know why they're delaying the announcement. I don't know. If anybody says that they don't just want to distract Frank Lampard, he already knows. That's how I see it. But I'm not sure what to say. I don't know if you have anything to say with regards to Ido leaving or Romeo Dusan Vlahovic or Romeo Lavia. You have anything to say with regards to those?
Have we signed them?
No, we haven't.
The season's not even finished. Yeah, we're talking about transfers.
Well, that's how it is, Yeah. But go ahead.
I just want a break. Just take a breather. The only thing I wanted to hear was the manager. Just announce the
What do you
manager
think?
first. So then
What do you think is the hold up? Why haven't they announced him really?
I don't know. I was upset that we didn't get him in early, to uh, early in the sense of starting preseason early, right?
Hmm.
Um, that's that's how I looked at it. And now everyone was like, no, let them take their time, let them take their time, and they are taking their time. And the only logical thing I can see is not to announce him while Lampard's there. But what's the point?
It doesn't make any
If
sense because he already knows who's coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, even if he knows and they don't want to announce it, it will throw him off. But let's say they really felt that, right?
Hmm.
Because it's very weird because the club has with Bowley has been doing everything unorthodox. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
What seems normal to us is not normal at our club no more. If they are doing it, or maybe it was part of an agreement, who knows? If they're so worried about Lampard and disrupting the team's already on holidays. The team has been thinking where they're going to go. They're on the beach. So I don't know how you can disrupt them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I just
understand.
want to,
But here's
yeah.
another way I see it is this. Maybe they want him to start with a clean slate because you could argue it would be a risk for him to come in now that the team's confidence is at an all-time low. So let him start fixing the things during the preseason proper. I get it. It would have been ideal for him to start early, start with the team now, and learn quite a lot about them before the transfer market opens. But it's still a huge risk.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know. But that's how
coach,
I see it. Go
you're
ahead.
right. But that risk doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Whether that starts when Potter left, right?
Hmm.
Whether that started with when Lampard got announcement that then instead of Lampard he came in, right? That
Hmm.
it's going to start in the preseason. That risk or that fear on how he's going to be perceived and how players are going to be, that
Hmm.
if that starts now, right? If you're worried about that now, that's going to happen in preseason. The first match of preseason. If he loses that first match, even though preseason games does not matter, that fear that you talked about is going to come out in a preseason game. And because of the situation, because they snuck in international games as well, well, that preseason continues on at the start of the season for us.
Hmm.
Since we
Hmm.
had for me, it was such a big job because of the amount of damage that Bowley did, right? For me, in the 6 months before he got people who knew what they were doing. You're right, it needs fixing. These players all need, first of all, we need to know who's staying and going and incomings, right? There's already
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
players
That's true.
incoming without anything. So just that alone, just to know who's going to be here and maybe the way he wants to play, also something I've been bringing up that some of that people have missed out. People have forgotten how Tottenham played under Pochettino. That was such a high press. The numbers were running numbers, actually, sorry, were up there with Liverpool's teams or more sometimes, right? That's why Pochettino's Tottenham and Klopp's Liverpool was a crazy game to watch. It was so high intensity because it was two teams that were so fit and they ran so much, right?
Hmm.
It was an entertaining game, those games, and it was hard. It was always hard on Klopp, right? Now this team has to get fitter. They're young, that helps, but if they want to play that way, they need a good preseason. He's going to run them, right? And selection is going to be based on fitter players rather than how good you are at the start of the season. So you're going to
Hmm.
probably see that too. So I feel that preseason is going to spill over, and the fears that you have into a month into maybe a month or two into the league starts. So if he started earlier, he could have started a month earlier and take a month away from that. That's how I look at it. So for them, to hold that back for feelings of Lampard and see how people feel and the fans. Who cared about that? If Poch came in and the fans were upset and we lost every single game, right? It doesn't matter. It didn't matter anyway. Lampard wasn't going to do anything, right? There was nothing coming out of what's happening. These games were nothing. But these games could have prepped Pochettino, saved him a month, right? Or more. I think it's been 6 weeks in advance, right? And that doesn't have to spill over because, coach, that what you just said, that fear of the losses and the players and whatnot, that's still there. That's not going to go away. Do you know what I mean? That's just going to you're just delaying it now.
Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that. I think it makes sense. It's not going to go away. It will still be there, and that's where he has to start whenever he comes in because the team is still broken. Good morning to you too, Christian Norton. Always nice to see you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Does 4-4-2 work these days, guys? I think only you hardly see managers use that, and I don't know why. I don't see any team making use of this information these days. I don't. I don't recall any. I don't remember. I don't think I can recall any modern managers using that often. But sometimes every now and then you see them go with it. I declare this is Deshaun saying hello to you, and this is Thomas Baser. Do you think players will want to come with a longer contract system and no Champions League football? The long contract system, I don't think we were able to do that again. I think FIFA and I think UEFA, who was that they've closed the loophole that were exploited.
We could still do it.
To Champions, sorry.
No, I mean we could still offer long contracts. It just means that only 5 years would be amortized.
Yeah, it cannot be more than 5 years, right?
Yeah, but I feel like there's ways around it. So in his contract, he could say, we're going to pay you so and so like this, right? And then for 1 year, his payments could be open-ended. Do you know what I mean? He could be paid less and then paid more at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. In so many ways.
Paid more up front, right? During the amortization years, the 5 years, and then maybe his last year is offered, the wage comes down or something like that, right? There's ways around it to fit the bulk of the money into the amortization years, if they wanted. But like you said, if the only reason they did it was for the FFP, then there's no real point. They can just offer 5 years now, and same difference for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you so much. The Champions League will always be a factor, no matter how everybody sees it. I get it. Some people argue, well, Chelsea, the players would always want to come to us, but in this case, you'd have to, pay something extraordinary for them to say, okay, you know what, I'll forfeit the Champions League for 1 year and join you. Let's see where Adele, keep calling Romeo and Constantine Date, fellow Aussies saying hello to each other. Nice to see. Well, we'll see on the bright side. He has a preseason. Let's see, 1 game a week with all this money to spend, nothing less than fourth. Let's be honest. Okay, I get it. I guess you're saying fourth place. I guess I hope I'm correct. Forest is using 4-4-2. Okay, I haven't paid attention. Nottingham Forest. Yes, it's still okay. I'm gonna move on to that. Nothing else. So, Declan, let me ask you this question. And if you're in the chat, I want to get your opinion. What formation or structure, if you prefer, do you think Frank Lampard will use tomorrow, given that we have Badiashile out? The only recognized defenders we have there is Saloba, Thiago Silva, and one more player there. Who again? Wesley Fofana, the 3 of them. But Declan, while I wait for their contribution in the chat, what do you think will happen? Do you think he still go with the back 4 and play can he actually go with the back? Yeah, he can. And play, play Chalobah in the right back position and play Lewisohn in the left back position. Do you think he'd do that? I think he probably most likely would do that in my opinion. But what do you think?
Yeah, he might do that. I'm 2 ways about it. I'm wondering how Lampard's going to look at this game now, because it is essentially an exhibition game. I guess it's a nothing game, right? I
Yeah,
was
but here's why he'd see it differently. He
well, yeah. I
wants
was
to
gonna
polish.
I was gonna
He wants
toss
to.
up.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna toss up the two, right?
Hmm.
It's not my only opinion, right? It's because that the Man City has won the league, right, already.
Hmm.
Now for Man City, it's a nothing. There's a massive motivation taken away from it, right?
Hmm.
A massive
And
release,
they
right?
did
So
better
now,
of resting players.
yeah, there's going to be a good rotation. They don't want to get injured. Players don't want to get injured as well.
Hmm.
Um, so and there's going to be early subs and whatnot, right? So it's going to have that friendly match, and there's nothing in for us as well. There's Chelsea have nothing to play for. So, but for Lampard, I was wondering the only thing that Lampard doesn't want is a heavy defeat, because even if you put the reserve players on, even if Man City play the B team, they can still do us, 3+ goals. And I don't think I'm thinking either Lampard just goes, boys, just go out and play, make it an entertaining game, whatever the result,
Hmm.
you know. And it's a good watch. Even if we lose something like, let's say we lost 3-1, but maybe we saw a different Chelsea out there, no pressure. Maybe some of the younger boys played, and for the first time this year we actually saw the team play well, right? And even that we lost, or he's gonna be so scared to play that we're going to be pretty pegged back, and kind of like what you said, Fred. It's not going to be three at the back. It's going to be five at the back, and it's going to be all just just 5-4-1 or something. Like it's going to be very park the bus and try to get them on the counter, and it's not going to be a good watch. And then Man City are going to get the one goal, and then it's going to be all over after they try to chase a game. It's just going to play out like that. So I want to know if Lampard's just going to go, hey boys, just go have fun and play some of the young guys. It doesn't matter. Or if it's all about him to get the win and not get the bad loss, and play a very secure, because each time Lampard did play against Man City, that was his approach.
Yeah, but I think in this time, I think he's going to go for a win. He's going to try to win it. His coaching career is at stake, no matter how you see it. Even if he ends up winning the remaining games, he still has a huge question mark over his ability as a coach. So I think he'd go for a win, which means, like most of us calling to see the younger players get a chance. I don't think that will happen. But let's see what he does. Big up, bro, and all
Maybe
Chelsea
Lewis Hall,
fans. Big
yeah.
up to you.
Lewis Hall had a
Sorry.
good game last game. Maybe Lewis Hall, he had a good game last game.
Yeah, he had a good game.
If anything,
But I think he'd be even better if you play him in a more advanced role. Like as I see, play him is as a wing back with an attacking intent, which I've seen him play. Again, he's fulfilled that role. He did fulfill that role on the ground put, and he was excellent on the day. I'd rather see him play as a wing back with an attacking intent than play him as a left back. They cook him really. But
yeah, coach. The biggest factor there is that we know from Derby and his first time at Chelsea, Lampard actually likes to play a higher line, a higher press, a more attacking game. It's when he fell into like Everton and come back now and playing where his style got exposed a lot, which is he played he had a deeper line, more reserved. It's not the way he wants to play. He knows it's about results, right? So that's why I feel like just give the boys a chance to play how you want to play. Like this is how he let him go out there, do what you said, play Hall higher, tell them to go out
express
Man City,
themselves.
because do you know start of the season the Man City that was losing, right, was the teams that actually went at Man City. So Man City actually got better at the teams that actually parked the bus. The teams that sat deep, they actually got better at it. They strangled you so much, right, that it was, and they actually were more cautious on the counter, so it was harder to counter them. So it's the teams that actually went at him, right? They went toe to toe at him. That is the games that they actually lost. And then after they got the lead, right, when the teams got 1 or 2 goals, early goals, that's when they sat back a little bit and then made it hard because there was no reason to attack after that because they had the lead. That were the games that that City dropped, right? So why not just go at them? That we can be like that. We can go at them. We can get an early goal. We can actually play. We can actually outplay them in this game. Not outplay them like that. I mean, not play into their tactics. You know what I mean? We can. The game can favor us if we go at them, get a goal, maybe sit deep and try get a one big win that doesn't mean anything, but it probably just means something good at the end. Like
psychologically, and going into next season, we'll beat them in the league. If we beat them, it's a big thing. I get it. People are saying there's nothing at stake, but if we beat them, it's a big thing going into next season. It's in the league. It's not like it's a friendly, but I understand where you're coming from. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Let me see if you're in the chat. What formation do you think Frank Lampard will go with? I think he will probably go with a back four since he did it the last time. I think, and Wesley Fofana wasn't available during the last game. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was Baden, Sheila, and Silva, and right back. I think he'd go with a 4-3-3. I think. Big up, bro, and big up to you too. Nice to see you here. I also have high hopes for Christopher Nkunku for next season. I believe he will turn out to be a great signing for us. I hope so too. He's a fine player. Hopefully he stays fit. Brentford is using 4-4-2. Okay, thank you for educating us on that. You're lucky today. Man City will rest their players, their best players. They will play like it's a friendly. Well, it's not our business. If we beat them, we'll beat them. It doesn't matter who they start. They have 2 11s that are each of which are capable of winning the Premier League. It said the second 11 will have to play together for a while for that to be as effective. We were able to play as good as we played during that cup game. That was a loss that felt like a win because we were struggling before that game. Because he made so many changes that we saw a bit of a disjointed display from their side. It's that time of the year. Jersey, nice to see you. Ateta, the King Butler. They bottled that one. Reese and Chilwell are both injured. There will be no back four. Last time, correct me if I'm wrong, Declan. The last match we played, we didn't have them both, did we? We did not. No, we didn't. We didn't have Reese. We didn't have Chilwell. It was Lewisol that played left back and Chalobah played right back. Wasn't that the case?
Yeah. I don't think injuries are going to dictate whether he wants to play three in the back or not. I think it's more about, this is how we're going to approach the game. If he wants to sit deep, he might play that three in the back. Or, like you said, if he wants wing backs, he might go off something. But yeah, I think he might do the three in the back, because even when he was here, when he liked the four in the back, he did switch three in the back just for City as well. Even when he's first time here, it might be his go-to. But like I said, it's either it's how he wants to play. I think it's going to be dictated on how he wants to approach the game, rather than, we don't have so and so player, so we should play like that. I think we got enough to do back four, back three. Yeah,
whatever he decides, he's shown that he doesn't. He wouldn't mind going with a makeshift defense like he did the last time, and you can say he walked it to a considerable extent. Had Abramovich not been ruthlessly sacked Ancelotti for coming second, maybe we would have seen a decade of dominance like Man City are displaying at the moment. There's no way of telling that would have been the case, but I get where you're coming from. You have a chance to win. We do have a chance to win. Yep, until the man in the middle blows the final whistle, you can't say, you can't predict the outcome. It's a game that you cannot script. Lots of people, I think he was Agonis 1, 2, 3, 4. This brother here, there was, I think he was in the chat yesterday saying clearly they were going to beat Brentford. I think, was it Brentford? Nottingham Forest, so to speak. that it was just up to us to do them a favor. It turns out they can't even help themselves. You cannot script football, and until the final whistle is blown, you cannot predict what's going to happen. You have a chance to win. I'd say, yeah, I agree with you. Even if they had not won the league by now, I'd still say we have a chance to win. I'm actually talking about the top six in the Premier League. Okay, let's see anything else to get here. Haaland will still want to score as many goals as possible this season. I mean, it builds it builds up your reputation. Even if you scored 100, it'd be good to score another 100. Man City have nothing to play for. They won the league, but I'm sure they would want to further cement their superiority over us because it's a psychological thing. Whatever happens today will still be carried over into. It will still go on record that they beat us. It's a Premier League game. It's not just a friendly. So no matter how you say, even the friendlies do go into records, if that makes sense. Somebody is having a conversation with you. I'm sure you've seen. Big up to you too, Chelsea, all the way. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Chelsea Boy says, Pep always enjoys beating Chelsea, so they will not go easy on us. I expect a full strength City team. He will want to embarrass us. I do not think he will risk too much. He will rest a few players here and there because against Real Madrid, you could see they looked tired a bit, actually, if we're being honest. Big up to you too, Bernard Kemboy. Always nice to see you in the chat there. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Last match wasn't City, though. It was Nottingham Forest. Maybe you misunderstood what I was trying to say, or maybe I didn't present it well. When Tuchel was sacked by PSG, Poch joined in January with PSG at third place. Yet people make a huge issue of Poch not winning the league in that period, and Tuchel might not win the league with Bayern. Here's the thing: I don't. That's not how I like to present my logic when I look at things. I know Poch is a good manager, and I can present a solid argument as to why I think he was not able to win anything at Tottenham. But that's by the way. I wanted Bali and Iqbali to hand the guard of honor and watch and share and see what winning looks like. I think they're well aware of that. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I use that for all my arguments, and that's good. Pathetic and embarrassing that Chelsea give guard of honor a mid-table team is real. The only problem I have that we're not win again. It's been a very bad season for us, and the God of honor thing makes it even painful for us Chelsea fans. But it's something we have to do. It's a long-standing tradition. We cannot opt out of it. I believe it wouldn't make any sort of sense to do that. And then we're actually bad losers if we do that. If anything, do it so the players will learn from it and see how painful it is for us fans, and then try and be better next season. Actually, guys, I wanted Arsenal to win the league. City cannot be this dominant forever. I hate Man City for their success. For their successes, London won't see a Premier League title for years to come. That's your opinion, but let's see. One thing I'm just going to put it this way: I think we'll do better than a lot of people believe we'll do in the coming season. But let's see. Even if City rest of their first second team, they will still beat Chelsea. That's the difference in standard. Football isn't like that, but on paper, I get it. It's easy to just conclude that City will most likely beat us. Something I believe if had I asked you the question yesterday, do you think Arsenal will beat Nottingham Forest? You'd say, oh yeah, hey yeah, they will beat them. Yeah, but football 1+1 doesn't always equate to 2, if that makes sense. I can tell by your Western sub accent. I am West as well. Who's it talking? You're talking Dante. Declan. He's talking about.
He's talking to me.
Yeah, I know. Chelsea won't even
This is pretty much my neighbor now.
Oh, he's your neighbor. Wow. Okay. Chelsea worst season not winning any trophies. Arsenal best season not winning any trophies. Yeah, maybe that's something that when you look at it, you say, well, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm telling you the truth. But that's, by the way, nobody has said anything with regards to the formation they think Frank Lampard would deploy later today. In a few hours, actually, not later today. But if you want to talk about that, you go ahead, shoot for it. Declan, do you want to look at the insights? I don't think he helps. It's depressing, really. They're averaging, I think, 4 point something goals per game. Let me look at it and be sure. Or at least 2.1 per game. We're averaging one per game. Go ahead, Declan.
Let's just say we broke a lot of bad records. That's what we've done.
Quite a lot. Haaland has a total of 36 goals, and Chelsea as a club has a total of 36 goals. How bad it is. We're not even capable of scoring a single individual. Here's it here. This Haaland here. He has 36 goals. He only measures Kai Havertz with assists. He has 7 assists, and Kai Havertz has 7 goals in total. So that's shameful. Yeah, they're averaging 2.6 goals per game, and we're scoring just 1. So on paper, you can say, yeah, we've lost at this one, and and head to head isn't helping. 22 wins to our 12 wins and 3 draws. It doesn't help. But I think, Declan, do you think we should go with the 3 at the back structure? What do you think?
No, 4.
Do you think we should take it to 4-3-3?
Yeah, I want him to go at it. I want him to go at City. I don't care if we're gonna cop 5. Maybe get one. Try get 1 or 2 on him. Try get a couple of goals. Make it look entertaining.
And you think 4-3-3 will be the better structure to achieve that?
Yeah, a really high pressing 4-3-3.
Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. And I'm sure
that's what I want to do. Not that I think that it's going to happen.
Yeah, we're not too sure what he's going to do. Anyway,
I'm hoping a little bit of Lampard just goes, stuff it. Let's go.
You really want to see a little bit of this you want to be able to predict it.
But like I said, Coach, that's how he likes to play. That's how he wanted to play. That so I know he has that desire, and I think if he's aware that 1 or 2 games is not going to change how people look at him as a manager for other clubs and stuff like that, and it's all about Chelsea now, and that's why I said maybe he gives some of the younger guys a go, like before he leaves. It's like the little things that he did for Mason Mount. He knew he was going, gave him the captaincy. Do you know what I mean? Just that meant a lot for Mason Mount and going forward and believing what he wanted to do, right? He can have that effect on some of the young players now at the club. Give him a run against the biggest team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not scared of a loss here. If anyone's really scared of,
none of us are. But my biggest concern, not a concern. I suspect his priority will be, to polish up his resume a bit. But I get your argument, Roger. How about you, bigger bro? I actually forgot I've added you from the because the comments are covering. Maybe you're not that important. Whichever one you believe. But league up to you, Roger.
I'm feeling the love, mate.
Yeah.
There you go, Roger.
Hello,
what structure or formation, if you prefer, do you think he'd go with, and why do you think that would be the case?
I think it's probably going to be a back 4, but I can understand a reason for a back 5 also /3, because there's a strong possibility that they're going to have most of the possession, so you're going to add more height. Even though I think Chalobah, if we do have a back 4, will be playing right back, so that negates that logic anyway. So do you understand where I'm coming from? I think it's going to be a hybrid, because we'll be a back 4 without possession, back 3. We're going for it. Some sort of variation, similar to what Poch does. So I've been listening to Declared, and I agree with virtually 99.9% of everything he said. My only thing that
what is the remaining that you didn't like? You did not agree with?
No. The only thing is where are the goals going to come from? We scored 3 goals last game, but you can honestly say statistically that was an anomaly. So if you notice, we've been creating chances and shooting a lot. It's just that we're not even hitting the target and not even testing the keeper. And when we do, they're pretty inept chances.
Yeah,
so
Roger's right. Roger, I can maybe see Sterling. Only.
And he played
like to get one over Man City or something like that.
Yeah, sure, that's logical, but it's his old team. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I'm a big critic of his, but this last game, his finishing was sublime. It was world class. And guess what? That I expect that from someone of his pedigree, and I use that term in quotation marks, on a weekly basis, not on a once or twice per season basis. I mean, he's got it in his locker, but he's so inconsistent. But the one thing I love about him is he makes very intelligent runs. And
So
when he
you love
does,
him at all?
it's a love-hate relationship. You know what I mean? Because, when he does make the intelligent runs, the ball's not there. He's not fed, and you've seen what he does in City. City, he never did this at Liverpool. He was horrible at Liverpool. And I was cringing when we got him, as I didn't want that to transpire. But that's what the only thing I want to say is I agree with de Klerk, because when Lampard was indeed chosen, and then the rumour mills were, I don't know whether you recall the show, I said, why don't we actually hire Poch right now? Because you've got 4 to 5 games as a pre-season, because for all intents and purposes our season is over since we exited the Champions League. Therefore, if we start next season and we miss top 4 or top 6 or 7 by a couple of points, then we can look back on that and say, you know what, we had a poor start, and that may not have transpired had Poch come in last season in the last part, because you can analyze the players. You're 4 or 5 games ahead of the schedule, so to speak. That was my only quim about it. I understand the logic why they haven't done it. I understand that, but from the big picture, at the 30,000 foot level, I believe that this is an opportunity missed.
Yeah, it is. I think we all can agree with that. Let me just catch up with what we have in the chat here. And Keisha Nutton says, how can you be a Chelsea fan and want Arsenal to win? That's strange. Now I understand the City winning 5 out of 6 is off, but nothing for Arsenal. Let's see what else we have here. Pep will not make many changes. I disagree with that. As the UEFA Champions League and FA Cup finals is far a secondary with a few changes. You will still see Get Alvarez for Haaland, and the former will be the first choice for many top Premier League clubs. Here's the thing. I think Pep will make a lot of changes in this game. I get it. He's still be confident of beating us with whoever starts, whatever with whatever 11 he starts, because they don't have anything to lose. They've won the league. If anything, he's going to use it to try out players that he may well decide to use against Inter Milan, because he likes to surprise his opponents. But Richard, let me just ask you this question. Do you agree that he's not going to be changing too many players, making too many changes?
Well, I don't think De Bruyne... Well, I think if De Bruyne does start, I think he's going to be pulled off at half-time or the 60th minute, because he looked...
I don't think he gets starts. I think he dressed him, in my opinion.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. If he does start, I can't see him playing more than 60 to 70 minutes. And I can actually see him not starting at all. He'll probably start, what's his name? My favourite left-footed Englishman. Fudge, I forgot his name. That came on for him. Anyway, I just think he's got a lot of depth there. Will he start Haaland? He didn't start in the last game against us, did he? So I don't know.
And let me just say something quickly. You see, what's his name? De Bruyne telling Pep to shut it. Pep knows how to play the media. He just doesn't want it to escalate, and he pretends saying he likes it. He actually liked it. I like him shouting back at him. That's it. Yeah. That relationship is dead. Maybe we're not going to see the repercussion right now, but I think practically Pep is done with De Bruyne.
Do you think so? I don't know. I think it's into the battle.
Have you followed his stories before? He knows how to play the camera quite well. Even when he'd already fallen out with Yaya Touré, but in public it's all rosy. He knows how to play the camera. Sure. But just remember, I said it. But that's by the way. And de Klerk, do you agree that he will not be making too many changes?
Yeah.
Here's my logic.
Because
sorry.
I just want to make the quick point that
go for it.
That because of the preparation of the game, like Pep had a team and a way setting up, for, just 24 hours ago, and he didn't bank on Nottingham winning that game. Do you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I don't think he's going to
Hmm.
change drastically, but now that pressure's off to win, I think that
It's a good
there's going to be
point.
some small changes and early subs. I think the subs is probably what you're going to say. So it could be a strong team that gets taken off very early,
Yeah.
something like that.
But
Or
here's my point.
Maybe starting the second 11 and then bringing in the top guns just to keep them
Yeah, yeah.
match fit or something like that. But
yeah,
Exactly. Here's the point, though. This is a pointless game statistically in this league. But however, Poch, sorry, Poch. I mean, Pep never wants to take the foot off the proverbial accelerator. Never. He wants to win. Probably playing dominoes. He's a very competitive individual, and so is Frank. And so, but if God forbid he starts stars or plays stars in this game, like a De Bruyne or a Haaland, and they are out of the Champions League and the FA Cup final due to injuries, that then he'll get crucified for that because he has an opportunity to complete a treble that's only ever been done once before in modern times. So, I don't know. This is a senseless game. Why take the risk? This is my logic. If I was him, they've got plenty of time to get players and maintain them in match fitness. They really do. I just think it doesn't make sense to do this.
there's a middle
yeah,
ground, Roger,
Yeah, there
where
is. I agree. There is.
um,
You have to
like
maintain a balance. Yeah,
everything you said is a massive point, 100% right.
yeah,
The middle ground is that when you rest these players too much too,
yeah. That's
they
when
lose a
injuries
little that
happen. Yeah,
they lose a little that sharpness.
yeah. There's a happy medium, isn't there? You have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you,
And you
you want
can't
them to
play. And you can't play
you,
at.
you don't want them to take risky challenges. You want them
Yeah,
to still play at that level, and you don't want them to be getting to that fatigue rage where they
sure.
run more than they have to. So
And you
a
can't
good
play
a
it.
good sub without taking any risk, in
Yeah.
tackles and stuff whatnot, is probably that middle ground that you talk about, rather than completely resting him.
Yeah, and most professionals don't play with the should we say psychological aspect. Oh, I can't get injured. You have to play your normal game if that makes sense. You just can't have that
Yeah,
mindset. Yeah, so I
it,
get
it
it.
depends on the player too, Roger. Some players,
Sure.
uh, are like I don't know what's like a dog where goes to the ball, doesn't see what's around him, and what you see is you go, and mentally you're trained like that too. You you,
So
you
let
go
so
for
let
the
me ask
ball.
you a question, but both of you
Yeah,
gentlemen, would you start Haaland and De Bruyne for this game? Yes or
no, I
no?
will not.
Declared.
I will not.
uh,
Just give them a few minutes. You see what he did against us in that cup game where we played so well. I
Yeah.
do the same thing. Then if it's not working out, I bring in those guys to just help me win the game. It's a risk. Anything can happen. Honestly, I will not, in
I
my opinion. But let's hear what the club would do.
Yeah. What's your truth?
I would Haaland, yes. De Bruyne, I would actually want to rest, even though I made that comment. I think a full game rest for him, just
Yeah.
because De Bruyne has a past of niggling injuries,
Oh yeah.
a whole bunch of them. I
Oh yeah.
think
And the last
I
game,
think
he
one good
looked
rest
tired.
because they got like 3 games that day in like 8 days or something. The midweek game and then
No,
another weekend game. They
no,
they
they
got
they
like 3
basically.
games back to back.
Yeah, they have. I saw on the TV that they were talking about. I can't remember what channel it was. They have this game, then they have like a 6-day rest, then a 7-day rest, then
Declare
like
just quickly. I hope you're seeing this question from Constantine Dante. I'm not sure why he's
My
asking it,
nation,
so that's
oh,
up
he's
to you.
from
oh, my
France, mate. He's from
nationality,
France. Can't
Francois.
you tell by the accent? Just south of Paris.
And Giovanni dropped the saying, the club, were you still talking?
Sorry, Claire.
Declare, were you still
That,
talking?
maybe just to finish the point where
Okay.
I was De Bruyne. He needs a full rest because there are 2 back-to-back EPL games which don't matter, and I think De Bruyne can play that. He can regain that sharpness on the last game of the season because then after that it's the FA Cup and then the Champions League. So 2 big games, not just 1 big game. But Haaland can play. Haaland can play and get subbed off. So Haaland's still solid. I think Haaland can.
I think if
Haaland
anything,
doesn't need to-
how about, do you think he'd see it as an opportunity to give Alvarez a full game? Maybe.
Yeah, there's not much. The thing is that they don't lose so much. There's, so many good players on the back as well, and they can at the same time they can give Pep a good headache where he can. All these players can have the next couple of 3 games, including this one, a chance to really show their form and maybe crack into one of those final teams and give some, Pep an interesting. For a headache or maybe a way of using him tactically, something like that. And playing those. So even though if we verse a backup team, those players have something to play for, even though there's nothing in this game.
Yeah. All right. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Giovanni Jofta says that Chelsea should use a 4-5-1 today. Let's see what happens. Big up to you too, Martin. I hope you're doing well. Man City are planning to get Rafael Leao. He signed a new contract. Now they have to say. I think he signed a new contract already. They're going to have to spend quite a lot to get him.
It doesn't feel like a Pep type of player, though. It doesn't feel like a Pep type of player.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you could say the same thing we said with regards to, for Haaland. So Pep is a smart manager. He'll find a way to make it work. I don't know, but let's see.
For that position, he needed someone that can drive into the box. Would you say Grealish?
I think Leao does that.
Yeah, I think Leao does that, actually.
He does that.
Yeah, so compared to... Yeah, Leao does that, but he's more power and pace rather than, close control and stuff like that. That's the difference I see. So,
yeah, more of that than the other aspect. But he's a player.
So when I compare to...
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Coach. Go.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, compare that to Mahrez and players like Sterling that used to play there, and Grealish now, who's doing a great job.
Foden.
Foden, from wide to tuck in, to get real threatening in the box and drive dribbling wise. I think Leao benefits from power and pace and not so much in tight spaces.
I think they're going to spend in the midfield, gentlemen. I think especially if Gundogan goes. Even though they bought that former Leeds player, what's his name, English player?
Kevin Davis?
No, fudge, I forgot his
Davis.
name.
Phillips.
Phillips, there you go, yeah.
I don't know why I said that, sorry.
Roger, just quickly, this one asks the question, do you think Poch is working behind the scenes, talking to Lampard, having a say on the team selection? No, I don't think he have a say on the team's selection. If anything, they'd be communicating I don't know, really, but not if they're even communicating. He has nothing. He has no right to suggest who start or who wouldn't start. All that will start once he's officially announced. Kindly analyze his thing. In my opinion, before I give to Roger, maybe if that's a tap-in, that's fine. To me, I don't think their communication will go to the extent of him suggesting who start and who shouldn't start. But you go ahead, Roger, and that question was for you.
Goal! Good tapping, coach. You're offside. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my goodness. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think, if anything, the back channels, so let's just call it back channels discussion. Let's say he's either signed a contract or it's been understood that he's going to be the next coach. I don't think Frank would have an issue talking to Lampard or the staff. He'd probably say, can my positional trainers converse with your back staff and say, listen, these are the files on players A, B, and C? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, but actually Poch telling him that he wants this, that would never happen. Frank would walk away. I don't think Poch would even want that either. I think they respect each other too much. There's professional etiquette. And I don't think that would ever transpire. No,
it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make any sort of sense. It would mean that then why is Frank the current manager?
Exactly. But I do think, if anything, if there is any back channels at all. I think there probably is some discussion, and
Yeah.
with regards to certain players, if they want profiles and analysis or tapes or anything on either player, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. But even that may be highly unlikely.
I think if that's going to happen, that happens at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm going to catch up with the chat, bring in Bobby. He tells us what formation he thinks is going to play. Then we're going to build in the lineup immediately. Arsenal gave City an incredible gift yesterday. Yep, that's an early gift. They made it easy for them. Smash the like button, people. Yep, keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bobby says that the Chelsea chameleons are loving this moment. Well, it's a bad. I'm not sure who you're referring to as Chelsea chameleons. Jerry Z says, I don't understand the risk when FA Cup final is on the 3rd of June and UEFA Champions League final on the 10th of June. It's still a risk that a player could sustain a long-term injury and be out. Secondly, the players' adrenaline will be touching the roof to be on the pitch or on the eve of a celebration. You can argue that's still an issue. Yeah, but I don't know how is it. But you make a solid argument right there. 4-2-3-1 system beat 4-3-3 system. That press high up the pitch. That's how you see it. But does Frank see it the same? I'm not sure. Okay. Why are we discussing City? Because we're discussing we have to play them today, and some. We started discussing what sort of 11 we think they will field. If that makes sense to you now. That's a question Bobby asked. Declared, this is a conversation with you, so I'm not sure what that means. Vic says Poch will not undermine Lampard and no need to share tactical details. It wouldn't make any sort of sense with Lampard. We might play him down the road. Well, I guess that's another way to see it. But Bobby, if you're there quickly, what structure do you think Lampard will play and why, if you're there?
Good morning, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning, guys.
Good to see you.
I know, Coach, I see from your voice you're not happy with me. You're not going to like me today. And
I don't have to like you.
I'm happy to be on your platform. But
I don't have to like you, Bobby. You know that already.
I've got smoke today. I've got real smoke. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with what's going on. I'm not going to be gentlemanly about Man City, all that BS. They're sitting in our spot as far as I'm concerned. I think we've got a lot of rebuilding to do. That's my focus. I think we are humiliated today. Anybody who sees it any other way, I'm not sure what runs in their veins. This is the ultimate embarrassment. Going there, clapping these people on the field, all that yada, yada, yada is a disgrace. Where is our pride? What has happened to Chelsea Football Club? We are an embarrassment.
So are you saying we shouldn't do that? We shouldn't clap for them?
Well, we don't have a choice. But what I'm saying is that it should hurt. We should feel that.
Yeah, it hurts really. But go ahead.
Feel the burn.
Player, every fan, all the ownership should be hurting today. I want to see hurt people. That's not our place. Sitting there, clapping these people onto the field, we should be feeling the pain and carry that pain into the summer, carry that pain into the transfer window, into the preseason, into the next season. This is not where Chelsea Football Club should be. I see all the background.
So let me ask you just quickly. So if we had an option if we had an option not to do it, would you suggest we don't do it?
If there's an option not to do it, of course I'll say we don't do it.
Which means the players are not going to learn. They're the ones, we're the fans. They have to do it to feel the pain. The next time they wouldn't want to do it.
Well,
that's why I asked you that question.
I hope they feel the pain.
They have to. They will feel it. Especially Raheem Sterling. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, forget Raheem Sterling. He's part of the problem. I want them to be hurting. I want us to be embarrassed. Why is the fan base even talking, oh, City, this and that and the other? We should be angry today. We should be angry today. Today is the ultimate humiliation of the season, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We have been rubbish. And for us to go to the Etihad and form a guard of honor and clap these people, I want to see stone faces while they're doing that. I want to see people that are disgruntled, that are angry, and are determined to change it. That's what I want to see. Damn, what has happened to my club? What the hell is going on at Chelsea Football Club? And I'm never going to stop talking of this moment. This is the most embarrassing moment in our history. And
Hey,
we
Bobby,
need
when
to
did
feel
this
this
start?
pain.
When did this etiquette start about clapping the
What,
winners on?
you know what the
So now when everybody
started
was
no,
clapping, Chelsea were all enjoyed it. But go ahead,
we,
Bobby.
we started this thing. We started it. We did it to Man United when we won that title back in was it 2005, and we humiliated them at Old Trafford. They formed a guard of honor for us on their home soil. Difference is you saw their faces. They clapped us. Yes, well done, but we will get you next season.
And that
Although
was
we
the
didn't
first
succeed.
time. That
That
was the
was the
first
first
time a
time.
guard of honor.
That was the we started it, and the slap in the face is that now we are doing it at Man City. Please let me not see any Chelsea player smiling that doing that. Please, please let me not see that shit. I am furious today. How dare we even put ourselves in that position? I'm sorry. I'm pissed. Play all the kids. Don't even put any proper player there. Play all the kids. That's all I'm saying. What kind of rubbish have we allowed ourselves to be in? And I want to see Mr. Bowley's face. I want to see Mr. Egbali's face while this crap is going on. Where's your pride?
All right. Here's the thing.
Come, Bobby. If
For
they
me,
if they had any pride, or if they were even 10% of how upset you are now, we wouldn't be 11th.
Yeah.
We're going to finish
Yeah.
12th anyway.
yeah.
They won't have any shame. They won't get upset looking at this. We're dealing with a group of mercenaries that are thinking of the beach and of their next club. This isn't the environment there isn't great. There is no team there, and 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 I don't think they're going to learn everything. And there is no shame. They can do the guard honor with no, you know, with no. There's no pride there like to be upset about. They just do it for fun. They probably will laugh too. They, you know what I mean? And even that they won't even take the humiliation from the guard of honor, which you would say into the game. You know, you see that, and then maybe go into the game and then give it to them and play hard and play a great game. They probably won't even do that. So
Well,
that's the type of team we have this season, and it's so. I was upset as you 6 months ago, and I'm betrayed now. I'm just numb. I don't even care.
Frank knows what Chelsea Football Club is. He needs to play the youngsters. He needs to have a stern face today. This isn't a time for smiles and all these friendly handshakes. Yes, we have to clap them. Yes, they've done well. They've won. Yep, yep, yada yada yada. But we should feel hurt. We should feel embarrassed. We should feel humiliated. And we should take that into the next season. And if I don't see that, I will be furious. I don't forget things when it comes to my club. I promised people I will be on Marina's case when if Rudiger left, and I will never change from that stance. I will take note of every player that is smiling today in that guard of honor, and I will be on their case because I don't want them anywhere near this club.
Hey, Bobby, can I ask you something? How do you rank this City team, the City squad, in the pantheon of the Premier League?
I don't care.
Now,
I
how do
don't
you
care.
rank them, though?
I'm so bitter about it. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. I
Tell
don't
me how
rank
you
them.
really feel.
I know they're a good team. I know they're a very, very good team. But I believe we should be better. And I believe we have let ourselves down. We have let them be what they are. Chelsea Football Club have done that, although with a little bit of help from the government and the FA, but that's
Yeah.
another matter. We've done that. We shouldn't be happy to be entertaining those sorts of conversations because of what we have done. And that's my annoyance. And I want to see that today. We don't have to be unsportsmanly. We don't have to be, shall I say, non-conformist. But in the process of conforming, I want to see people that are not happy with their situation. I remember when Man United did that to us at Old Trafford, and we went and beat them 3-1 there, and they did the Guard of Honor before the game. They were not happy, and that is the reason why you should have continuity within management, because Alex Ferguson, all of them, you could see their faces. Roy Keane, they were hurt by it. I want to see hurt players today.
All right, let's move on, please. I'm going to catch up what we have in the chat, then we'll go on to the lineup building exercise and get it round off as soon as possible and have an hour or so, a little less than an hour before the next year start. Biggest club in England, one United, Liverpool. Okay, go ahead. I'm sure you're not a Chelsea fan, but welcome. You provide value by watching here. And this here says Bobby raising standards today. He's always raised a standard, but his mood's changed today. He's not in the mood to accommodate that sort of thing. But I'm going to catch up with what we have in the chat. We don't have too much time. We'll have to get into the lineup building exercise. Otherwise, it will start leaking soon, and then we'll be just wasting our time here. Okay, good for you there. Let's see what else we have. MTS, let's see what else we have here. Vic says we cannot stay angry and forget logic. A time to restructure and move forward. I think that's how I see it too. I'm not angry. It's pain. It's painful. Anger to me is different from pain. I see them, and it doesn't change anything. I need those players to applaud and feel the pain and learn from it. Maybe they don't want to do that next season. Let's see what else we have here. And who's this? A gorilla says, "Well spoken, Bobby." I'm not gonna read that one. I'm just gonna move on. Over exaggeration on the part of Bobby, we won the league in 2017. In the last 6 years, it's only City, Liverpool. Yes, don't put the UEFA Champions League win in 2021 to defend. We have done any good for the last 6 years. Okay, let's see what else we have. I know most Romanian families. Okay, you're having a conversation there. Bobby has lost a lot of. No, Bobby is not into betting. I can assure you that. I just want to move on. Oladipo Mesole, Todd Bowley, and Igbali should join to do the Guard of Honor as their arrogance is the architect of these problems. Wow.
Yeah, put them in that line. Put them in that lineup. And
let's see what else we have here. We're all, again, are in pain, but I cannot confuse my anger with my pain. Have the players leaving go out and clap too? I'm not sure who does and who should be. I think it's the starting 11. I'm not too sure. City are deserved champions. It's a Guard of Honor for one of the best teams in the world right now. You could argue that. Not Newcastle or Brentford. Chalobah, Silva, Badeshile, Kovacic, Fernando, Felix starting. Where are you getting that from when Badeshile is out injured? So I'm not sure about that. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, people. I don't think I'm able to get everything in the chat. My kids, I'm not going to read that one. Let's see what else we have here. Man City is on a Barca level. Okay. I'm not there to read that today. So let's get into the lineup building exercise. Let me ask you this, Taberho. I haven't asked you that before. Your thoughts with regards to the structure you think Frank Lampard would deploy today. Do you think he goes with the back three? Do you think he goes with the back four? I think it's making sense now. I think he will go with the back four. It's the last game we played, he deployed a makeshift defensive line, and I think he still do that. We have Fofana back, yes, but the Shile isn't available. But Fofana can also play on the left-hand side, while he got played on the right-hand side of the two center backs. With Chalobah continuing with the right back position, which a role he fulfilled. He fulfilled that role effectively the last time. Lewis Saul also wasn't that bad in the left back position, so there's a chance he still goes with this structure. But your thoughts?
Big up, guys. To be honest,
hello.
I hate this structure when Frank Lampard plays it, because In the midfield, there's so many holes, but our defensive structure, it's okay. Even our attackers, they're okay. But in the midfield, there's so many holes. You saw against Arsenal. Arsenal were toying around us. So against Man City, oh man, it will be suicidal. So I rather play back five against Man City just to stop us not being embarrassed. Because if you play this structure, oh, it's gonna be a long day. Even if Man City plays their third choice players, ah man, I hate it. And
Yeah.
also, coach.
Yeah.
Also, coach, why is not Dennis Zakaria playing? For example, you can't keep on playing with Enzo as a holding six. Why doesn't have a speed? We complain about this with Jorginho. Jorginho is a good player, but again, doesn't have the speed to track back quickly. Zakaria can do that, but he's not playing anymore. I don't understand why. So that's the issue again. If we're gonna play this structure and have likes of Zakaria who can protect our defense, then I'm cool.
He might
Yeah.
play
It's
that day.
Physicality.
Might play that day. He's got nothing to lose, has he?
Can't hear you, Bobby.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
said he might play him today because he's really got nothing to lose. He has to go for it today. You know,
was he
today.
even on the bench the last time?
Well, this is it.
no.
You know, coach, today
Maybe
has
I'll
to
have to look.
be about us trying to have some semblance of self-respect. Self-respect. We've got to go into that game as if we're playing some kind of cup final because we don't need to lose. For Arsenal to not win the league. The league is gone, and we should go there trying to humiliate them if that's even possible on their own patch after winning the league. I know we're probably going to get our ass kicked big time, but let's not go there and be the weak team that we have
And
shown.
see, yeah, and just take the ass whooping.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
capitulate. We cannot
Exactly.
capitulate.
I want to see some grit. I want to see some fight. I want to see some pride. I want to see some stony faces out there. Some people that regret the season and are looking to the next season. That's what I want to see. I don't know if I'll see it, but that's what I want to see. I want to see that. These guys, okay, a lot of them are new. They don't know what it means to play for Chelsea and all that. Yeah, I accept it. But you're a professional footballer playing for a team that pays your wages. Don't you have any pride in your craft? Don't you feel something? Really? Really? Is this acceptable to you in the club you're in? I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Mhm.
so angry. I was with the underage teams on Saturday, under seven. I was so happy to see these little children. They're playing. They're so proud to wear that shirt. They're out there playing. Not because they don't know their left foot from their right, but it was an honor for them. An honor for them. They're not getting paid for this. And we have these grown men on tens of thousands a week. Please. Oh, I'm so upset. I'm so upset today, guys.
Yeah,
I'm really.
and your frustration is on again. It's understandable, really. We will play better than expected today. I think I feel the same too. Given the fact that Man City don't stay, they don't sit deep. But I think let's see who. It depends on who will start in the midfield. This is the sort of game where Kovacic excels, and I think if he's fit, he should start. What else do we have here? I have that same feeling too. Humiliate City. Are we living? Who said humiliate City? I'm not sure where you're coming from that. But these days, youngsters are not like they used to be. You can say they're built differently these days, maybe. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have 49 likes. Just one more to get it to 50. Let's see if we can get it to 50, 100 by the time the show ends. And thank you. I need to be back. It needs to be back three. Silva, Fofana, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, right wing back, and Aspi and all Hall left wing back. I don't think Aspi gets a chance in this game. I don't think so. And the same reason I want to argue those that you can say it is clear that they don't have a future at the club. I don't think they're the club's priority. And it's not like Aspie is in Britain from that you could say, even though he doesn't have a future here anymore, he gets to play. You say the same as Zakaria also, but let's see what Frank Lampard does today. Let's see. Oh, you love soccer. Okay, that's good. It's a good game, and I'm glad you love soccer, so I hope you're enjoying it. Let's see what else we have here. Alexis McAllister is in advanced talks with Liverpool, and Mason Mount is apparently leaving. Poch should have come early, as Roger suggested. We're all, yeah, I think it's a solid argument, but let's see. With the case of Mount, I'm just going to say he's more likely to leave than stays, but let's see what happens. A back five is to absorb attack and to try winning by counter-attacking this win us the game. Let's see. Sterling would feel ashamed, kind of forming guard of honor for his former club. Yeah. Did you watch Slonina play today? No, I did not. And will you watch Andre Santos play later today? Maybe I will. What game is he playing today? I'm not aware of that. And big up to you, bro, DJ. Always nice to see you. Yes, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have 48 likes. It looks like one dropped. Let's try and get it to 50 and shoot for 100. That will go a long way. Big up to you too, DJ. I hope these players have witnessed what winning the EPL is like. That's what I want them to learn from clapping for them and all that. When we talk about the standards, we are shut down. And now someone wants the standards. I am so confused with this fan base. Oh, I knew you'll always like blowing against me, but much love to you, Chelsea, all the way. Stalin has fought a Premier League EPLs. But it doesn't matter. It still be painful for him to clap for his former club win it. Let's see what else we have here. Under 20 World Cup. Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't followed it. Maybe I should. I should start following it. Okay, let's see. Let's get into it. I'm going to start here. I don't want us to waste too much time because I want us to end on time and then take a break before we start the pregame show. Here we have Kepa. Roger, do you think Mendy will keep his place, or do you think it's going to still be Kepa? Kepa will come back in.
I was under the impression that it was just a break for Kepa, just to see how Mendy was and keep him in shall we say, game form, and just to see what he could do. I expect Kepa to return, but who knows with Frank? I have no idea. I would assume. This is purely an assumption, of course, that Kepa gets his job back because he was dropped for no reason. It was just a one-off because he's played so many games consecutively. So that's my assumption.
Anybody has any differing opinion? How about you, Tobeho? You think Kepa comes back in, or do you think Mendy stays between the stick? And Bobby, if you want to come in anytime to argue, you can come in.
I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks with Mendy, you know.
Okay.
That is just the sort of thing Frank could do. I know most of us, especially Roger, would prefer Kepa be given a chance, but I think he will.
I like both.
He'll probably stick with Mendy in case of long range shots, that sort of thing. Not that Mendy.
You think he's going to stick with Mendy?
I believe he can. Yeah, I believe. If you know what, let me stick my neck out. I think he'll stick with Mendy. It's not a reflection of what I want. Yeah. It's not a reflection of what I want, but I just think he will do that.
Okay. How about you, Tabeho?
I think Kepa will start.
Why?
Okay, I think so too. But Roger asked you why. Any reason?
Because, to be honest, I guess Nottingham Forest Sorry?
Sorry. I was joking. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
I was saying, to be honest, I guess Forest Mendy had a horrible game for me, so I don't think we'll start again.
So it's not because you hate Bobby you want to go against him. That's why.
No, I don't hate anyone.
Just joking, of course.
No. We had a half of the squad in the dressing room as randoms from the transfer market. We have no team chemistry build up. If that's a solid argument. Mendy starts. Okay, let's see who starts today. But I think it's going to be Kepa. Maybe I should use the poll since there are differing opinion on who we think will start. But I will use the poll in a bit. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Get back to 49 again. Let's get it to 50 and shoot for 100. Rogers, do you think the owners would have set a target for Poch, for instance, a top 4 finish and the domestic cup in the first year? Roger, if you can take a minute to answer that quickly so we can move on.
Coach, I just want to reach out to the panel and IBZ. You know, Coach and Roger and declared they're gentlemen, they're better guys than me. I'm pissed today, so please forgive my bad manners.
No worries, Bobby. Like I said,
never.
But
look, Bobby, you brought the spice today.
You're part of the furniture.
And a lot of people in the chat like that. So don't worry about it. Roger, go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah, no, well, Bobby, you're part of the furniture. We love your passion. Seriously.
No, we hate him.
Yeah, we do. No, I'm just kidding. So
go ahead, Roger.
What was the question again? I forgot. I apologize.
He's asking, do you think they have a target?
Oh, I think yes, I remember now.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, Poch his mindset is to win every game that is in front of him. But most people will tell you that the most important game is the next game. You know, that old cliche. I'm sure deep down that they're, at the very minimum, it has to be to get into Europa League. Because of, even though it's not as much finances as the Champions League, at least there is some financial compensation. So I think at the very least, the bottom would be top 6 or 7/7, but probably whether he admits it or not to himself, it's to be in the top 4. That would be the benchmark, the low benchmark, I would assume. Cup games, he knows he's got a deep enough squad to go deep, assuming you don't meet Man City in the first round each time. He knows that this team has done very well the last 3 or 4 years in cups. So I think in the back of his mind, he knows that any given time that they can win silverware, at least get to Wembley. So yeah,
I don't think they'll be taxing him with so much.
No, I don't think it would be official, but I'm talking about Poch's mindset. What would the owners request of him? The best that he can do. I don't think they're going to actually set targets per se. I don't think. I doubt very much that will transpire. I
agree with you. Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 52 likes. Let's get it up to 60. I don't think we can get to 100 by the show ends. But if we do that, fine. And remember, anytime from now, that is, I'm talking about days, not minutes or hours. We're going to do the month giveaway, Stay in School project. I hope but I will not forget, definitely. We want to get to the level of City, but still rate players like Kepa, Havertz, Gallagher, Mount to take us to the elite level. I don't know. Here's the thing. You know I love you, bro, but I don't know why you're bringing that up right now. We're not talking about now. I get it. We're all frustrated, but I understand where you're coming from. Much love to you, Chelsea, all the way. He's a goalkeeper. Kepa don't need rest. This was stemming from the last time Lamps was manager. Kepa probably misspoke to Lampard and is now punished. Wow. That's a theory on its own. Give third choice keeper a game.
Surely.
Sorry?
He would have dropped him initially, surely.
Yeah, but maybe
healthy for weeks.
It's still believable in the sense that he just didn't want to do it in a drastic manner, so it's obvious he just didn't like him. Maybe. My thinking at first was that he probably would find the slightest of excuses and say, no, I'm not doing with you, but I don't know. We don't know. This is just us speculating. What do you think, Roger?
I don't subscribe to that theory. I think
because it's coming from coach, right?
No, I just think Frank
I'm just kidding. Go
ahead. Whether he likes or dislikes a player personally, if that player is quote unquote the better player to help you get points or win a game, I think he'll put his pride aside and do what's best for the team. He recognizes that. I think it'll be foolish of him not to. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Lampard should try a 5-5-0 approach. Okay. Mendy deserves more chances. Kepa had been the whole season, and personal hasn't impressed me, and personally he hasn't impressed you. Okay. Um, Paul Bobby, he always puts his neck on the line for Chelsea. That man is proper Chelsea. Yep, we
Yeah.
know that. No one rents Kepa or Havertz. I'm not into renting those right now. We're here to pick the lineup. Bobby was in his Bobby was in whose bag? I don't know. Let's see what else we have here. Get Orate now. Yeah, rumors are that we've entered the race to sign him. But hopefully he comes to us if that's the player they prefer of all the targets. I think he's the cheapest of all of them. Plus, he's an excellent player. Top six, a minimum, maybe. So Mendy should be dropped after one bad game and not playing for over 6 months. Here's the thing. I think you could attribute that shakiness we saw due to him not being match fit and hasn't played in the game for a long time. Kepa has been horrendous all season, but should start. All your days, yeah, that's how you see it. That's you. Let me see what else we have here. Big ups to you too, Temidaya. Always nice to see you. Greetings, respectfully sent to you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Czech scouted Mendy and Lampard approved it. And Marina did want to what? Jettison Kepa just like Lukaku because of the price tag. Most of the Chelsea fans are infected with the mediocre virus from Todd Bowley and Iqbali. Our standards is in the bin, and they are all calm about it. Wow, some argument right there. But let's see what happens. I don't know. That's up to you, Adam. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, that's up to you. Yes, Adam, you can. You heard that from Telidayo there. I mean, didn't want. Okay, no, okay. Now I understand what you mean there. We have to remember Mendy has come back from a finger injury too. I think all those things should be considered. But if here's the thing, let Frank Lampard pick whatever player he wants to pick. Adam, thank you for subscribing. Jerry Z says, let's say, do the owners ask Porsche to win a Premier League or UEFA Champions League before 2026 in order to extend his contract before 2026? I wonder. We don't know. I think, well, first of all, the priority should be to get the team playing as a unit and doing better. Then maybe the following season, then they'll have a target, say you have to achieve this. Otherwise, it's nothing. Mendy can save his Chelsea career. Don't you think so? No, Mendy's remaining at Chelsea. It's beyond his form. It has to do with the new contract they've offered him. They had an offer for him on the table, which he rejected. And if I were Mendy, I'd reject it too. If I feel like they're not offering me something that I'm worth,
Coach,
I'd reject it too. Yeah.
Coach, this guy we're linked with, the goalkeeper,
Or not.
Onana.
Uh-huh.
You know, at first I was very much against him,
No.
but I've watched a few games where he's been in. I know he seems a bit cavalier, but if there's one thing I would give him is he has this shithousery about him. He really has a temper. He has a way of motivating his back line. And
You
I
sure
will
you're not mixing it up with Martinez? Yeah, you're talking about Aston Villa goalkeeper.
Martinez as well. Martinez even more so. But people are complaining that Martinez doesn't know how to use his feet. And I can't validate that.
He
I don't.
doesn't.
Well, I haven't watched him that closely.
Uh,
Okay, he doesn't. To me, I don't think it matters. And I would prefer him. But Onana certainly knows how to use his feet and certainly knows how to distribute the ball and certainly has attitude, which is what we need. I'm tired of all these players that we have that are so passive. We need some attitude.
do you
And
think Kepa is passive?
Kepa is passive, but he doesn't have the ability to. He's not passive, but he doesn't have the ability to back it up. You know, if you've got that shithousery about you, you've got to be able to back it up. Look at Rudiger. Rudiger is not a bad play. He's not a a player that plays foul, if you know what I mean. He
Sure, sure.
doesn't get red cards. He barely gets yellow cards, but he is aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see. I want
Smart
to,
too. Very smart.
yeah, attitude. I don't want to see players now nodding their head and, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. We'll play you next time. I want to see people that want to die on that field rather than lose.
Yeah,
We've
down the
lost
hill,
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking of Onana quite seriously if he's available to us.
How much do you
Yeah,
think he
but
goes
we'll
for?
move on. I
40
think we're
million.
serious about him, and I think we can get him. 14 million of pounds, they say, or euros. I'm not sure. But he's not expensive. The season just needs to end already. I think he needs just a pay the release clause of Orate. I don't want him at Liverpool. How much is the release clause again? I want to know. I think I like him. I'm not going to be reading quite a lot because I think it's just unnecessarily leading towards diverting from deviating from the current topic. If I cannot save like Mendy, and that's not what we're here to argue. Please, yeah, let's see. Mendy wanted Kepa's wages, which he has every right to ask. But if the club cannot afford it, they have every right to say they cannot afford him. And if they don't want him, I think as a Senegalese international that he is, and he's a good goalkeeper. He just went through a bad run of form, and it doesn't look like he's recovered from it. Maybe he needs a fresh start. Sometimes that's what players need, just to go
Yeah.
somewhere else and start afresh, and then things will start working for them. Believe me, I like him as a goalkeeper. Questions for the panel: who has done more for Chelsea, some 2 million Kepa or 20 million? I'm not gonna. Every time you bring up that question, we're not arguing. I haven't told you that Kepa is a better goalkeeper. I haven't said that. And you brought this up the other day, and we did talk about it, bro. We agree. You can argue Mendy has done more, yeah, because he was between the sticks for us for the Champions League, between the stick for us for the Club World Cup, which you could argue actually had it not been for Kepa's brilliance, we wouldn't actually get to the final of that Club World Cup, if that makes sense. And Kepa was the guy that helped us win the European Super Cup. So they both have done well. It doesn't make sense to start comparing them. They're both good goalkeepers. And I'm going to say this: Mendy is actually equipped to do better than Kepa Arrizabalaga. But at one point, he started averaging a single mistake per game and deserved to be dropped at the time, but wasn't dropped, and he got injured. So got out of the team, and Kepa got in and did a good enough job. They're both good. Let's not keep repeating the argument of questioning who's better. Believe me, yeah.
Coach, do you think it's a mistake that we don't keep Mendy?
I think it would be a mistake because he's a good goalkeeper. But for his sake, maybe what he needs is that fresh start to regain his form.
I personally believe if he starts hypothetically next year, and let's say our team or squad is good enough to win the Premier League, just work with me on this one. I think he's good enough. We're good enough to win any trophy with him between the sticks. I really believe that. Mendy, when on form, I'm talking about. I really believe that.
But he's a good goalkeeper. What he had was just a bad run of form.
Exactly, that happens. You see that?
Yeah, it happens to everyone. Kepa had his own days at one point, which was why we went for Mendy in the first place. And he came in, he was brilliant.
With Courtois, I've seen that with Bahia, I've seen that with all the greats. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I understand. I think Chelsea, all the way, we're not fighting, bro. Believe me. But I like it. You make things to be more tense, and that's important. And as the panel, I believe, have asked the question. We're not fighting. Believe me. You know I love you. Let's see what else we have here. Onana, the price of 50 million euros. So that was close. My quote was close. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. And just say all the way, do not worry, bro. You know I love you so much. I like it. The perspective you're bringing, it makes us think. The only time it's an issue when it's deviating us from the current exercise of what we're doing, then it becomes a bit of a problem because we don't have too much time before the lineups start leaking. And I'm not sure if Roger has Roger, you want to add to the question he asked who's done more for the club? Do you have anything else to add to that?
I think you summed it up very well.
Okay. How about you? You have anything to add to that Tabejo?
If they say Mendy won of the Champions League, what about Kepa won us the Europa League? So I think we should respect both goalkeepers.
They deserve our respect. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and Kepa helped us win the Europa League, especially Remember the penalties against Frankfurt? It was him who helped us to win that game. So I think sometimes we should be fair enough. We should criticize the both goalkeepers. Also, they have their own differences. Nothing we can do.
We've actually been blessed to have them both, and the perfect example that we've been blessed to have them both. That UEFA Super Cup final. Mendy did excellent during the full 90 minutes, and Kepa came in and helped us win it by stopping penalties. But I don't think we were able to keep them both. I think one of them will end up leaving, and it's looking like it's going to be Mendy because probably they haven't offered him something and that he throws is acceptable. I think he's a good goalkeeper. If they can find a solution, believe me, I'd take him over Nana. And one thing I have to say about Mendy too, as much as I don't think that he cannot measure Kepa in terms of how good he is on the ball, but people don't give him enough credit with regards to how good he is on the ball, really. And that's just me. I would prefer Emi Martinez. He was delicious last night against Liverpool. He's an excellent goalkeeper, really. Happy Sunday to you too, Victor Adedoyin. Always nice to see you, homie, coach. It will be so damn unjustifiable if Chukwuemeka doesn't start today. He says it's so freaking annoying with the bias. I'm not going to go to the extent of saying bias. Lampard's priority will be to win games, polish his resume, because the results of late hasn't helped. And if I were him, I'd start players who I believe will help me win the game. But let's see. Good luck. I don't think Chukwuemeka gets an opportunity today. Today, Lamps will pack the bus. I hope to counter. Mendy is better suited as a pure shot stopper. Playing out isn't an option. A solid argument right there. Yes, Chuk must start today. And that's what you think. And the poll which asks the question, goalkeeper, 64% feels like Mendy is going to start. But to me, in my opinion, I think Lampard will probably go back to Kepa. But if Mendy starts, fine. Hopefully, he starts to pick form from there. But let's see what happens. So we're going to go with Mendy here because those in the chat picked Mendy. So we're just going to plug in these things in as quickly as possible. So if you're on the panel, please pay attention. I think Silva will be here. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think Silva will be on the right-hand side. Just give me 1 second. Yep, Silva there to the left here. Fofana, I think. Yeah.
Nah. If Silva plays with Fofana, normally you always be on the left-hand side. You can check normally.
Okay. Let me rotate them like this. You said.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And okay, let's keep it going like that so that we can knock it out as soon as possible. I think he probably most likely will go with Lewis Hall here. I'm not sure. It's just like he did the last time. What do you guys think?
It's either going to be Lewis Hall or Aspie, right?
Yeah, but should I go? Okay, let me put up a poll. But go ahead, elaborate, Roger, if you want to.
Well, don't forget, Aspie started playing for Chelsea at that position, and he's got a lot of experience playing for that. Plus the fact, he's an experienced player. He'll be able to read the game better than Hall. But then again, he doesn't have the legs, God bless him, anymore. Which is normal at that age. So there's pros and cons for playing him and not playing him, and vice versa. So it's a tough one, Coach.
So we're gonna leave this one to find out who goes in there. I think we're using the poll. Let's see what those in the chat does, what they do.
Are we talking about
left back position? Yeah.
Left back, sir.
left back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be Lewis Hall, surely.
Okay.
Surely. I mean, he
Don't call me Shirley.
he's young, but he often does well against Man City. It'd be a good experience for him. It's not like if we don't win, it's the end of the world. And I would play him there.
No, I was just putting it out there, that's all.
Yeah, and Vic says that he will keep Mendy as a second goalkeeper. I don't think that will happen. Mendy is not going to accept remaining as a second choice goalkeeper. He's going to leave.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, and I don't want us to be. Yes, I don't blame him either because he's a good goalkeeper, and there will not be shortage of clubs vying for his signature. Does Lampard have a winning squad? You could say, given Kante is out, a few good players are out, but we're still capable of pulling off a surprise. We'll have a good team. That's how I want to put it. But on paper, it's Man City's to lose. Finally, we move on from goalkeepers. Just spent almost 30 minutes talking about them. Yeah, because there's a war going on for Chelsea goalkeepers, especially my bro, Chelsea all the way. Whenever he's out in the chat, he likes to fight for Mendy, and I like that. Everybody has somebody that fights for them, and it's a good thing. So, yeah. Roger, Emi Martinez or Onana. Roger, you go ahead. Speak. I can plug in the players.
I would
go
choose
ahead.
Onana over Martinez by far.
Yeah.
Plus, we have a bona fide member of the Goalkeepers Union.
Oh, yeah. The chairman.
Yeah, over what we're doing. So
the chairman of the Goalkeepers Union, we have him here.
Onana
where's
or
Declared?
Martinez?
I've not heard from Declared.
No, he had to leave. I think his system crashed. He sent me a message, so he had to leave.
I honestly, if I had to choose between Onana and Martinez, it would be Onana. But I personally...
Why Onana? Why Onana over Martinez?
He's better with his feet. He's younger. Listen. On his day, Martinez, on form, he's as good as anybody. He does have some deficiencies. I'm not a big fan of his, to be honest with you, especially after the World Cup, that nonsense he pulled off. But you know what? He's very competitive, and you have to applaud that. Onana, I think, has more upside. We know what we get with Martinez. He's a beast of a body. He blocks the goal very well. Don't get me wrong. I think Onana's distribution is better, both with his feet and with the arms. I think... How old is Onana now? I don't even know his age. I think
he's 27.
Yeah, exactly. So he's entering his prime. So this is good. Speaks volumes for him. So
I don't particularly care for a gentlemanly, likable person, Roger. I just
I get it. I get it. No, I get it. But I'm just giving you my honest opinion. But you're right though. Listen, I prefer to keep Kepa or Mendy over Onana. That's my personal opinion. I really do.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The only thing, if I were Lamps, I would just go with a three at the back structure and play Hall in the wing back position. He was effective the last time, very effective the last time he played like that. Here's where we have a bit of an issue here. I think Kovacic will start. I think he's fine. He doesn't have an injury, right?
Don't think so.
No, he's not ruled out. So I'd say Kovacic on the left-hand side here. And to his right is where we have a big question to answer. The options here would be Loftus-Cheek or Conor Gallagher, if it's a 4-3-3 structure. So, Roger, what do you think will happen?
I think he's going to choose probably Gallagher. But I can see him going either way. I really can. They both offer... They're very different players in some regards, and they both have value add. It just depends. Maybe Frank goes with because of the industry, because they're going to be pressing like hell. They really are. So probably Gallagher, I would assume, but who knows?
Yeah, I think most likely Gallagher, because he's shown that he likes him. That's the right CM. Gallagher left CM or right CM?
Probably right, right?
Yeah, probably right CM. On the left CM, I think Kovacic will be the one to start there. Because already we're losing Kante, and I don't think Frank can do without the experience of Kovacic if he's fit enough, which I think is fit enough. We didn't hear that he's out of the game or not. Right midfield, let's go. Let me ask the question here. We have the option. Go ahead, Bobby.
I wouldn't play Kovacic. I would put either Rubin left or Zakaria with Gallagher. Kovacic doesn't start for me. We don't need that sort of pretentious game. We need people that are going to be effective and are going to fight. We don't need people that'll do a couple of dribble runs and make us think they're in charge of the midfield, whereas they're in truth they're not.
So what do you think happens, Roger? Do you agree with what we said?
Yeah,
That's my personal stance.
No, I get it. I get
What
it.
he'll probably do would be to play Kovacic.
Yeah, I think he will, though.
I don't think it will help us at all.
And I think Kovacic would do well in this game. The last game, there was so much confusion in the last game that nobody actually was that effective, especially in the midfield area. But go ahead with what you were saying, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, Kovacic might do well. He might use that as a shop window to lure Guardiola. I don't know, but that I personally wouldn't choose him, but I still fancy him.
Just how to say, no, Kachila, I fight for any player. What I want is objectivity at every level. That makes sense, and I like you for that, brother. That's how you become an elite club, and that's true. Hall for sure. A lot of people think Hall starts. Exactly, Coach Mendy wants to start. Kepa stays due to his wage, because no club will agree to give him a pay rise, and we can't. If we want to force him out, they'll have to terminate his contract. Give Enzo a rest. Put a proper DM in there. I don't think Enzo gets to rest. I think he starts. Kovacic is injured. Is he? No, I don't think so.
I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't remember. If anything, he had a knock, and I've checked the list of players we have out. He's not one of them.
I think he is.
Let's check our list of our injured players. We have look at the players we have out. Confirmed players we have out. Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Mason Mount, Marcus Bettinelli, Marco Correa, Khalid Koulibaly, Benoit Badiashile, Ben Chilwell, Amanda Broya. If anything, I think that last game, I thought what happened is that Kovacic was carrying a knock. Wasn't that's the case on the day?
Yeah, but listen, at this stage of the season, virtually every player is to a certain extent. I think we can, especially in this league, we can safely assume that. He may not start, who knows? But I don't remember anything about him.
Did he get injured on that game in particular, or the argument was that he was carrying a knock and wasn't effective, so he was hauled out?
Something like that. I can't, you know what? I've watched so many games this week, I can't bloody recall.
Okay, let's just assume he's injured. So let's say Gallagher starts here, because a lot of people are saying he's injured. Chelsea all the way have said it, and Chelsea has said it. He's saying that Fort Mob is not an accurate side. Okay, let me just trust you. Ruben dribbles and gives the ball away. The only time I have a problem with that if he plays as one of the 2-6s, but if he's playing in the RCM position, then fine. So Kovacic is out. Then here most likely will be Ruben. And that's how. What do you think, Roger?
Yeah, I mean that's logical. I can see that. I think Frank trusts him also. More importantly, this could be the last time we see him start in a Chelsea jersey.
I would wrap Enzo up for the rest of the season. He has played so much World Cup every game for us, and end of the season major injuries. But I don't think we'd do that. I think Frank would want to win this. Kovacic is injured. Okay, I have agreed with you guys. If Real Madrid gets Santiago Gumieres from Feyenoord and we're done, it's over for us. Don't see us progressing if we just splash because we don't get Gimenez. So it's over for us. But big up to you, by the way. All sports fan Adam, always nice to see you. Let me see this. That's not an accurate site you're using, Coach. Thank you for shaming me in public.
Tough crowd, Coach.
Yeah, he just told everyone I'm using a very nonsense. Or the list wasn't long enough for Chelsea injuries. That may well be the case. Because sometimes it cuts off when you use the site there. Let me just check. Let me check from here. Just quickly, let me check at Chelsea here. Check injury. Okay, let me check injuries. There's still no Kovacic here. Yeah. So, but let's see what happens. Okay. That may well be the case, but I don't know. We were told Kova was injured, but my understanding on the day was that he had to be taken up. He was carrying a knock and wasn't that effective. But a lot of people, Mesole, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Chukwuemeka in RCM, I doubt he gets a chance. But if I make it again, if I let opinion drive the lineup, the selection, he probably get a place in the lineup. But for Frank Lampard, it probably be unknown to him. Barilla, Kovacic, swap. That's one player I can say, let's do it. Nicola Barilla, Italian international. I'd say let's do it. I think he's just one player I can agree. Yeah, it will be more effective for us than Kovacic. If Gallagher starts, he should play a bit forward, not as not a double pivot here. Left CM, and I think he would do well there because City gonna press us high up the pitch, and as Gallagher is never skipping the ball, so that's an issue too. So you make a good point there. He still struggles again to keep the ball, and again, once you press him, if you press him effectively, he loses the ball. He needs space to be more effective. But let's see. Let's see what happens today. Connor, Enzo, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think that's what we may. We may likely see that today, but I'm not. You can't be too sure until we see the lineup. Again, if we are negotiating with Milan for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, do we really want to play him? And he gets a bad injury like he always does every second year, and then we can't sell him again. So, what do you think, Roger?
No, I don't think that comes into the equation. At least I hope not. You can't.
But now I'm concerned.
I think that's an interesting point. I know Coach doesn't like me today, but I'm still going to try and talk as long as I'm there. But I think it's an interesting point. But you see, the problem I have with Frank is that, one, he's one of those managers that caused the problem with N'Golo Kante by overplaying him. And this is why I believe he's going to spare Enzo and play him today. But that's a valid point. Do we wrap Ruben up in cotton wool or do we play him? If that's suggested to me based on what's going on with this game, I wouldn't play him. I'll put him on the bench if it's protecting him, because Ruben isn't a player that has been lucky with injuries. And if indeed he is being told, even if he's not being told, it's better to have a fit Ruben. So that's the point.
I can't.
It's a huge risk. It's a huge risk, but let's see what happens here. This says, bigger coach, anything less than a 6-0 loss is a good result for us today. By the way, I missed the days when I predicted us to win football games. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure. Usually, I don't go into predictions these days because I'm not sure what sort of performance to get from our team. If we play 4-3-3, we need to outpress City, and are we capable of doing that? I'd say no. We don't. We actually can. We're actually not able to press in an organized manner. Gallagher runs up and down the place aimlessly. I know where that argument is coming from. It's called pressing, Norton, and the team needs it to be taught to press. As a unit, that's what I want to see. I just don't want us to be running around, a single individual running around aimlessly and then gets tired. That's a problem when playing 4-3-3. A big issue. I'm only saying about RLC because of his history, but I understand where you're coming from, Constantine Dante. RLC had been a big disappointment. I don't see it that way, really. I think he's come up big for us on occasions when we needed him. Gallagher's still only 23. There's hope for that boy. I would like to see him today and gradually find his feet. Long term, I think he gets better, but he needs a manager to understand that he's still very young and needs a lot of coaching. Coach, best things for today's game is stay at home, enjoy your sleep, ask for the results tomorrow. Usman Isaac, thank you for saying that, but much love to you. Let's see. Since that injury in that pointless American game, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he's never been the same ever since. And I agree with you. So let's speak this. Roger, let's go for it. We can all can argue that Madueke starts. You can say he's become a regular. I know it's not too many games, but he's become a regular, really. Madueke, then centrally, what do you think happens here, Roger?
I think he's going to start Sterling, especially based on the last game, unfortunately.
On the left-hand side, right?
Yes, yeah. Well, you know what? He started him in both places, so you never know. But yes, one would assume so.
Okay, here's where we have a problem. Who starts centrally?
Does he go with Kai? I don't know.
So the options are Kai, João Felix, and Datro Fofana. But asking that question alone will be, you could say, the decision we end up making will be driven by people's opinions. Not really what Frank would do. I think Frank will start either João Felix or Kai Havertz essentially. But let's just ask this in the chat. But go ahead, Roger. Were you saying something with regards to that?
No, that's fine. It's hard. It's so hard to predict what's he going to do. I would like, because of, listen, I don't believe Sterling's going anywhere next season. I think he's going to be within our squad.
Mm-hmm.
So there's legitimacy for picking him, especially how he played last week. I get that. I hope he plays Madueke there. I hope he starts him.
I think Madueke starts.
Yes, you would hope so. I would like to see Kai play the number 11 personally. I mean, obviously Datro Fofana, but that's never going to happen. I shouldn't say never. We have a very small, remote probability of Datro Fofana starting as a number 9 in that position. I don't think it's even up for discussion. We're lucky if he's in the squad, game day squad most times. So that's what I think. So.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. The point raised about Ruben Loftus-Cheek is valid, but McAllister is starting for Brighton today, and it's close to Liverpool move. A solid argument there also. Let's see what else we have here. This says you can press by yourself in 4-3-3. That just opens spaces. You need to press with one or two more players. Press as a unit. That's when it makes sense. Felix as a striker, not sure. No, the application is what matters. He's played there before. Havertz, maybe, you're thinking Brighton wants to sell McAllister. Yeah, and rumors are that actually he's on the verge of completing the move to Liverpool. So they want to sell him, yeah. What do we have here? Gallagher needs a good coach to direct him. I agree. Does that mean Potter and Lampard aren't good enough, or the problem is Gallagher? I think his thing, he's still raw, and that's where the area where the problem lies. And I don't want him to his situation again to turn out like the case of Mason Mount, where managers just focus on his energy and the pressing his industry and the amount of pressing he does whenever he's on the pitch, and end up not helping him become better. But I wouldn't say it has been Gallagher's fault. And remember, he's played literally everywhere, one position and the other. Jude Bellingham is very similar to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Yes, the injury, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek never had that freedom to play his football. You could argue that.
Yeah.
I've come to learn also that you're a good admirer of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's a fine footballer for me. Fofana has been good whenever he plays for Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea with Brighton, just having a conversation there. Difference. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Felix will start. I'm not too sure who's going to start. I'm not going to hold my breath arguing any of the players will start. If a manager finishes top 4 with Villa or West Ham, we will look at it as an unbelievable achievement. Or will we say that he didn't win a title with Villa or West Ham? Same would apply to Pochettino logic 101. I agree with you. I think a lot of people that would say that should also, apply that logic when speaking about Mauricio Pochettino. They're not forced to sell anymore. They are open for business if the price and timing is right. Okay, that's it. So let me see if those in the chat decide. Then we will plug in the number 9 man and probably call it a day soon. But Roger, let me ask this question. Well, I know Bob D isn't into prediction, but Roger, what do you think the outcome of the game would be?
I'm going to be watching it behind my couch.
Oh my goodness! We're good. Just give it a shot, Roger. What do you think the outcome would be?
I am hoping we are not embarrassed. I hope we go out there and play for the shirt, play for that badge, play for your own individual pride, play for frag, however you want to term it. Regardless of the scoreline, I hope that we look very professional and we look like a very good team and push them to the end, so to speak. I hope that transpires. I hope we don't capitulate. I don't want to see slouched shoulders and dropped heads, and pointing fingers. I don't expect us to get any points today. If we do, that'll be the cherry on the proverbial cake, if that makes sense. What I want to see is, like, if we lose 1-0, but we play like crap and they hit the bar 10 times, then that's still, I won't be pleased with that. I want to see this squad, these players, whoever Frank chooses, I want them to play professionally with grit, determination, and, shall we say, play somewhat progressive. I want us to, and I want us to see, I would like us to see if we can try to play, like, press really hard, and from a defensive standpoint, from a goalkeeper standpoint, I would like us to negate as many opportunities as possible, if that makes sense. That's what I really, listen, I'm looking at it through, a prism, goalkeeper's prism. So I'd like to see that. I don't want it to be so open where their XG wasn't 6. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. So that's what I'm hoping for. What would actually transpire? Who knows? It could be ugly, Coach.
Yeah, I am with you. So thank you so much. This is Brighton, another mid-table team anymore. They are top half in Europe, but some of their players are already bent on leaving, and I think they will let some of them go and buy good players. On the back of one season, constating they will continue their business model and not get carried away like Leicester City. I think there's a lot to learn from the Leicester City situation. We gave them enough money. They don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a solid argument. Bobby, if you're there, what are your expectations for the game? I'm not going to say predict because I know you're not into predictions. But what do you expect? What sort of game do you expect if you're still there? I don't think it's there. Just give me 1 second. Roger, do you see Chukwuemeka getting a chance today, even if it's to come off the bench?
I would love that, Coach. I want to see more of him. Actually, out of all the players in our squad, this is one person that we have not seen enough of. We really haven't. I'd have to look back and say that's a big disappointment for me. It's not like we're playing for major trophies or you have the excuse, well, if we play him, we may have dropped points and not made top 4. Our season was over weeks ago. So, and I understand Frank's logic, but, injuries aside, physicality aside, I would have liked to have seen Carney play a lot more. At the very least, coming off the bench each game, at the very least. And that hasn't transpired. The one player I have been pleased that we have seen a little bit has been Hall, which is good. So this solidifies, a good chance of him staying in the squad next year. But I want to see Carney Chukwuemeka a lot more. I really do. He's a person that I think, if he's good enough to be in the squad, he should be on game day squad, and I want to see that. And we haven't, Coach. And that, to be honest with you, can you think of another player that you wanted to see more than Carney Chukwuemeka this year? So, especially since Frank's come in. Especially since then. I know you want to see Datro Fofana more. I get that. But I think...
No, I wouldn't say I want to see him more. At one time, I just gave up preaching Chukwuemeka.
Did you really?
Yeah, because he didn't. You can say I get it. He been unlucky too. Occasions where we expected him to start, we heard from Potter that he was ill or something.
Sure, sure.
But go ahead.
What I'm talking about since Frank's taken over, and since our season has, for all intents and purposes, been over, can you think of a player more than Carney that you wanted to see played? I can't think of one. I'm more frustrated that he hasn't played more than any other, because I've seen him play in the Premier League for Aston Villa. I've seen him a couple of times, and he stood out. And even for Chelsea, I know he had that one bad start, where he looked a bit lost in the first half. Okay, you can't place 45 minutes on the whole potential of a career of a player. I'm shocked that I know it's based on probably training sessions also. I get that. I understand the concept. But I'm more frustrated not seeing him more than any other player.
Yep. Thank you so much, Roger. I appreciate that. And I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. It's been an excellent stream this morning. They needed to beat against Newcastle signings. So you can just see the mentality in this opposed of people will pick the same team over and over and let the next KDB and Salah go. Let's see what else we have here. The definition of insanity is playing the same losing team and expecting to win. I think I understand where you're coming from.
But you need continuity also.
And plus, there's only much you could do right now. We have lots of players injured.
Look at Arsenal. The last few seasons, they were like eighth, and sixth or something, and now look at them. So you can. I get the guy's logic, but you know what? It takes time to gel a team.
Yeah. Let's see. Win or lose today, we can all hit the like button. Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 3 more to get is a 60, but we're done for today. I'm just going to catch up with what we have in the chat and say bye. 1-1 draw, straight from the heart. Let's see how good of a predictor your heart is. We'll find out today. Most of these guys' salaries are times 2 or 3, 3 times of Brighton and Forest etc. And they don't know how to play football. Wow, that's serious there from Usman Isaac. I agree. 1-1 draw. Here we see, what else do we have? There's nothing to play for. Whether we play the usual players or not, we are losing. Play the young players. For Frank, there's something to play for. And if you were Frank, you'd be playing to win. At least have it on record that you beat Man City in the Premier League in the sun at the time where your win percentage is so low. I think it would do his resume a world of good. Vic says a 2-2 draw. And what else do we have here? Says everything takes time for Roger, but that's fact. That's now 4th year in a row with 0 trophies. They had a continuity, and it didn't win them anything. But I mean, you just want to present the argument from that angle, but continuity does matter quite a lot. All right, people, I want to say thank you to Krisha Norton. Thank you to Chelsea. Thank you to Constantine Dante. Vic, always nice to see you. And Chelsea all the way. My bro, big up to you. And Usman Isaac, Thomas Bays, Mark H. Who else? Am I missing anybody's name? Every other person that was in the chart. And Roger, thank you so much. Bobby, thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. With that, we'll call it a day. See you guys during the pregame show. And there will be a halftime show for members only today. So thank you so much, people. God bless us all. See you guys next time. And bye.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you so much, brother, for finding the time to join.